Hey guys, Ernie here and welcome to the Paleo Hiker MD channel. We have reviewed all types of stoves here on this channel. Every possible type, all types, all costs. Wood stoves, gas stoves, solid fuel stoves, solar stoves. You pick it, we've tried it out. From a few dollars to a few $100s to many hundreds of dollars. We've tried so many things. So the question is, in this day and age, what will $9 get you? What will a $9 stove get you? Is it functional? Does it work? Is it worth picking up? Let's check out this stove and you make a decision for yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. I've spoken about this in the last couple of videos. It is amazing how cheaply you can get gear these days. I remember how expensive just the smallest things were. Getting yourself a little 750 milliliter titanium mug pot could cost you $60, $70. Now you can get them for $20. It's amazing. Sometimes cheap gear is just that. It's cheap. It's no good. But these days you can buy a lot of cheap gear that's actually pretty darn good. So the question is, does today's $9 stove fit into that? It's cheap for sure, but is it any good? All right, in here we have what they call the small foldable camping stove and alcohol stove. One of the things I hate about this stuff is it comes with this blue plastic on it, and no matter how hard you try, why would you put this blue? They ship it with this blue plastic cover. You can still see like little bits here in the corners, which, I mean, I guess I could sit here and get tweezers and try to get it out and stuff, but nobody's got time for that. I don't have time for that. But anyway, dimensions are 3.85 by 2.95 by 0.78. Weighs 4 ounces. You know, it's been a while since we weighed something live for you guys. So let's weigh this thing. Let me turn it. Let me see. This is, all right, that'll work. So they're saying 4 ounces. This is going to weigh a little. Actually, let's do this. Let me take this carbon felt out and show you that here in a second. Units. Pounds, ounces. Here we go. 3.5 ounces. How about that? That is, hold on. It can't weigh that much. Here's the top. 3.6. So 3.6 ounces. It actually weighs less than what they said. That is not common. Made in China, costs $9. $9, guys. That is all I got from the internet on this. I got basic dimensions, a weight, which was wrong, and it is $9. You got 2 parts. First is just your basic kind of Esbit type stove. You can see where I've used solid fuel in it. It is basically a copy of an Esbit stove and works just fine, even with the leftover blue crap on it. The alcohol burner itself is just a shallow dish. I mean, that's all it is. It is a stamped aluminum shallow dish. Now, what I did was I got 3 little rings of carbon felt and I put them in there just like that. Theoretically, and you guys can talk about this amongst yourselves, theoretically, this will allow it to burn a little bit longer because the carbon felt will just hold on to the fuel a little bit and allow it to burn a little bit longer. I have 3 discs. You can also just do 2 discs. And that would actually be a really cool video. Maybe I should do a video like that. Does it make a difference when you use 2 discs versus 3 discs? That is the kind of video that you will only find on my channel. What I want to do is 3 separate boil tests. And you guys can think right now amongst yourselves, what do we think is going to happen? We're going to do 1 ounce of fuel with no carbon felt whatsoever. So just a shallow dish. We're going to do 1 ounce of fuel with our carbon felt inserts, okay? And then we'll do 1 solid fuel tablet, just a basic Esbit tablet. Will the carbon felt make a difference? Do you think it will make things better, make things worse? Leave comments now down below. I think the carbon felt will allow the fuel to burn a little bit longer, but in my experience, what I would expect at least is that the flame from the shallow dish will be a little bit rawer and will just hit the bottom of the pot and probably bring the water to a boil slightly faster, but the carbon felt will allow it to burn a little bit longer, even though it will take slightly longer. Anyway, that's my theory. Let's boil some water and find out. So let's do a little reviewing here just to tell you guys the numbers. The 2-cup boil test with the alcohol only boiled in an impressive 4 minutes 55 seconds and burnt for 8 minutes 57 seconds. The 2-cup boil test with alcohol and carbon felt boiled in 6 minutes 11 seconds and burnt for 10 minutes, so a little bit longer. And the 2-cup boil test with the solid fuel, it boiled in 6 minutes 5 seconds and burnt for 10 minutes as well. So that is a look at the results from this $9 stove. We used 3 different types, well, I guess 2 different types of fuel, but we used the alcohol in 2 different ways. Once again, it proves you do not have to spend a lot of money to have gear that is functional, serviceable, things that you can use day to day. Or for that matter, you don't have to spend a lot of money to do something very important, which is get your family ready and prepared for emergencies. When I look at these cheaper stoves, a lot of times that's what I think about. This is the perfect stove to have in an emergency kit. Your kid's going off to college. She's driving back and forth 2-3 hours. Maybe you live in an area that's really cold, and maybe she has to drive, or he has to drive in some desolate areas. You know, you just never know when they might need something, and you won't be there. Why not put together a little backpack with one of these stoves, 3 or 4 kits of ramen noodles that'll last forever, a little bit of alcohol, a lighter. Show them how to use it just in case they ever need to warm a cup of water up to make some coffee or make themselves some ramen noodles. This is the perfect kit for something like that. It's cheap. Hopefully they never use it, but they have it in case they need it. I think every household in America should have at least 1 bucket of some dehydrated meals. These things last for 20 or 30 years. And if you really need it, you'll eat just about anything. But why not put one of those in a closet? Next to it, get yourself a little baggie. A kit like this would be perfect. Solid fuel lasts forever. You could see how well it worked today. You can use solid fuel to boil water very easily. You can use alcohol to boil water very easily. Both of them work great with this kit. If you combine a little bit of food, a little bit of fuel, and one of these kits, you can give yourself a lot of peace of mind just in case anything ever happens. If you think about it, and I'm not one of these crazy conspiracy theory people, but if you ever go to a grocery store, I tell people all the time, there's no back room. Like, there's no storage room. There's very little storage in a grocery store because all the food is out. And the food gets there in a certain way. It gets there on trucks. And if there's no gas or there's no trucks, there's no food. And it doesn't take very long for you to figure out that there's not a lot of backup food. One storm coming towards our area in Louisiana, and there's no batteries and there's no bread. Immediately, there's no milk, no batteries, no bread. I don't know, I guess people just have like milk and bread parties with flashlights every time there's a storm, because that seems like that's all there is. That's gone. But if you wait long enough, all the rest of the food, I'm just kidding, all the food goes away, but there's no way to replace it very easily. If you get in that situation for an extended period of time, you're going to want some food, and this is the perfect stove for a kit like that. I don't know what else you could ask for $9. I would not use this kit as my primary kit on the Appalachian Trail, for example, or something that I know needs to work for a long period of time. There's better options, better quality options for things that you know you're going to need to depend on. But for a kit that is kind of, I don't want to say throwaway, but it's just something that you don't even know if you'll ever use it. And if you're just getting into the outdoors, or you have a Boy Scout who wants to start to experiment in the outdoors, a kid, $9, you can afford this. And it gives them all the options in the world to have a little bit of fun, boil some water, start to learn the beauty of doing things on your own. What do you guys think? Make sure you leave comments down below. It's very helpful to me to see those comments, helpful to everybody, because I don't have all the experience in the world. I don't know everything in the world. A lot of you know more than I do, and I know more than some of you, but all of us together can combine a lot of knowledge and learn a lot. So what do you think about this product? Where would you use it? Do you think it's worth $9? Do me a favor, guys. If you're not subscribed, it really helps if you hit the subscription button. It doesn't hurt your finger at all to do that, so just click that button. I know you want to do it. Make sure you leave a thumbs up down below and put those comments in. That really helps spread things through YouTube. It feeds the algorithm, you might say. If you're looking for other types of stoves, I'm going to put this video in my stove playlist. If you watch this channel at all, you know there are hundreds of stove videos on that playlist, so make sure you check it out. I love cheap gear. I love checking it out. I love presenting it to you guys because I want to make sure everybody knows that you don't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a Jetboil to go out and have some fun. You don't have to have all kinds of crazy rocket stoves to be able to survive an emergency. You can do it with a simple $9 stove and a little bit of knowledge and a little bit of alcohol or solid fuel. As always, guys, I appreciate you checking out the Paleo Hiker MD channel. Stay tuned for more videos soon.